FIFA have just released the best men's World 11.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to read this out to you. Donnarumma is in goal.
Yep.
And then we got Mendes at right back. Left back. Yeah, you're right. And then, what was that? That's Pacho and Van Dijk as centre-backs. Okay. Hakimi at right back. Mm-hmm. Vitinha and Bellingham in midfield.
Yep.
With Pedri on the left.
Yep.
Palmer on the right.
Yep.
Dembele and Yamal up top.
Can I just ask where Rafinha is? Sorry.
He is nowhere to be seen.
Like, as a Dutchman, Van Dijk should not be in this.
Why?
He's had a good
season.
Is it not based on this whole year?
Yeah, but I do think at the end of the day, I think he probably deserves to be in there. Like, look how well he was. Really good last season. Like, very good last season. This season, okay, fair enough. But last season, Van Dijk was excellent.
But
you can't argue.
But I'd put Gabriel over Van Dijk right now.
Yeah, but
over
he
the last
also
year,
won
2025.
Look, I think Gabby's great. I personally think Gabby, unfortunately, is injured, but I think he's the best centre back in the world right now, based on form, the way he's been playing, and he has been one of the best for a couple of years now, but doesn't get the credit. But Van Dijk last season, like, he was fantastic. I mean, the way he defended for Liverpool, and he played every single game for Liverpool last season, every single competition. Like, I can't really think of games last season where I was like, nah, you ain't played very well like I can this season. Do you know what I mean? So I would say he deserves to be in there.
But then, the two players that I do see that are missing. So, you can have the argument of Van Dijk is the two players are Rafinha and Mbappe, who both have had a very good season.
Yeah, if this is the best, the best FIFA Football Award for the best men's 11 in 2025,
Harry Kane could be in there as well.
Harry Kane could really much be in there.
Yeah.
And so could Mbappe. Because,
my biggest question mark
Mbappe's got 62 or 72, is it 60 or 72 goals?
My biggest question mark maybe is Jude Bellingham.
Why is he there?
I don't really understand why
Wasn't he injured
in there.
for like...
He was injured for a large
shoulder
part of
injury,
it.
yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I think Pedri absolutely, Vitinha absolutely,
100%.
Dembele is not a question. The two fullbacks,
Yamal, not a question.
Yeah, do you know what, Rafinha, right? I feel really sorry for him because he actually had such a fantastic season, like even better than Yamal in terms of numbers. What he did I saw him in games, generally win games for Barcelona. Like, I don't know if you guys watched that game when they played Benfica. He won them that game. Like, he was excellent, and I just felt so sorry for him because it was almost like his Ballon d'Or campaign was sacrificed for Lamine Yamal, who's kind of the bigger name and the attractive star, and bathed by Messi and all that. Like, I actually looked at it like, how's this guy not in the top 3, for example, in the Ballon d'Or? Why is he not getting a shout for winning it? When you think about the guy came from Leeds. He came from Leeds.
Yeah,
he was signed from Leeds. He's gone over to La Liga. When he first joined, it was like, what's excellent last season. Like, you can't argue it. He was just excellent. I feel really sorry for him.
You can also even another player that I've just thought about who's missing from this recent, what he's said is not good, but Salah should be there instead of
Cole Palmer.
Mo Salah.
Like what? So a FIFA here weighing the Club World Cup as a higher achievement than the Premier League.
And no offense, I really like Cole Palmer, right? But he literally, I think from January onwards, hadn't scored a goal until the next season.
I think he's scored 2 goals from open play since February or something like that.
That's really poor for someone his quality. Do you know what I mean? Mo Salah, like, I know Mo Salah towards the end of last season slowed down, and you can say what about the Carabao Cup final, but he scored like 30 goals. I think in the league he got 18 assists. Do you know what I mean? Nearly broke a record. Like, he was one of the best players in the world last season. He should be in there.
I also think that on the grand scheme of things, the Premier League's probably the hardest football competition to win in world football.
It is.
Yeah. Like the Club World Cup.
Is there an argument for Scott McTominay?
I genuinely think over Bellingham.
Over Bellingham?
Yeah, over Bellingham across 2025.
He was excellent.
But I wouldn't... He won Player of the Year.
It's not an attractive name like Bellingham.
Did you not see
Scotland to the World Cup for the first time in 30 years?
What makes you laugh here? Did you see that video of the Serie A Team of the Year, right?
Yeah.
And they're all like,
I've seen this.
Scott McTominay. They're like, who's the best player? Scott McTominay. You've got Lautaro Martinez and all these fantastic players literally saying Scott McTominay was the best player.
It was what they did. They lined up the Serie A Player of the Year.
Almost every single one of them.
And then asked each of them, right, here's a microphone. Tell us who you think the best player in the year. They went, Scott. And then one of them said something else. And McTominay was like, I can't remember who he went with.
Yeah, I can't remember who went.
He didn't go,
no, I think he went. I think he went Lautaro Martinez.
He might, yeah. But regardless, like,
excellent
know
year.
what? Now you've brought it up. Yeah, Scott
He was
McTominay,
fantastic.
100% should be in there over Bellingham for 2025.
And you think about it, right? He came to Napoli, like, no one expected him to be what he was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he was
agree.
their best. I watched a lot of Serie A. Him and Lukaku, that were great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But Scott was amazing. Some of the goals
I completely
scored,
agree.
He's the guy, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you're saying him over... But are there any other midfielders over Bellingham?
No, but I would just have a two
Not being funny,
midfielder
mate.
of Pedri and Vitinha.
Declan Rice was fantastic last season. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, but nothing
They
happened
didn't win
in the
anything.
end.
Jude?
No, I know. No,
we're not saying
we're
Jude should
agreeing
be in
that
it.
Jude shouldn't be there.
Mate.
But I honestly, I
Jude
think
should
I
ask
would
Declan
put
Rice what
Declan Rice
happened when
over
they met.
Jude if I had to pick one of the two for the
Declan's
year.
last
Oh, yeah.
season was
Over the last
Yeah,
What
year.
about
out of the two of them,
Caicedo, for example? Why can't he get a shout in there?
Yeah,
as well?
this is so
He was
inconsistent.
He was
I don't understand
fantastic.
it.
There's too many players missing
There's
here.
a lot of players
Too
that
many
I'm
big
looking at that like, okay, the back four, I will agree with. I will say, yeah, that
Our
was
goalkeeper, 100%. There's no one
the
better
back
than
four,
Donnarumma.
I'll agree and I'll say,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you know what? I love Gabby, I love Saliba, but those four were excellent. I can't, I'd say Mendes especially was one of the best defenders in the world last year.
Oh, well, yeah. He
And
was
he's
a
following
massive
it
part
up.
of their Champions
You think
League
about
win.
as well what he's done with Portugal as well. Do you know what I mean? Excellent. Hakimi, excellent. Pedri, I love Pedri. I'd keep Pedri and Vitinha in there.
Pedri
Definitely.
had an excellent season.
Jude and Palmer, I don't know, man. And I really like both.
Ben, have you got anyone you think we haven't mentioned that you reckon has a shout over some of these players?
Well, I agree with Josh. I wasn't sure about Van Dijk being in there, but I think with these things, a lot of the time, it's a case of name value almost goes ahead of who's actually been best. Like, and with the McTominay thing, that's a prime example because he's not as sort of glamorous a name as a Jude Bellingham is, but yeah, he deserves to be in there from what we said. So I agree with that, and as I said, I think a lot of the time they go off name value in these things rather than who necessarily deserves to be there.
Would you not even say that Haaland has a better shout than some players that have been put in there? Because even Haaland didn't have his best season, he was still very, very good.
Yeah, but I'd actually place Harry. If we're gonna go with
Harry
that,
Kane,
I would
100%.
have maybe placed Harry Kane.
Yeah, but
I think for Haaland it's weird because like he still scored a lot of goals last season, but we know what his best is. So
it's weird.
it's kind of one of the excuses where it's like, yeah, you weren't really at your best, although you scored a lot. But
Yeah. Tapiwa says Gabriel doesn't get credit. Behave.
he doesn't. Only this season has Gabriel started getting credit. I can tell you that as an Arsenal fan. Last season, excellent. Like, he was so good. We missed him he went out against that, in that Real Madrid game. He ends up tearing his hamstring. But genuinely, that guy has won us games. Like, Ben can back me. He's been to Old Trafford, Anfield, Stamford Bridge, Tottenham Hotspurs, and come back with man of the match for how he's defended and how he's
3 in a
scored.
row at Spurs.
We're talking about a guy who's dangerous in both boxes. I don't care what anyone says. Only now this season people are starting to give him credit. Genuinely, no one can argue.
I think in terms of being the best in the world, they're giving him credit now. But I think
he's been excellent for us for a really long time now. Like when he first came in, he was a bit shaky, but he's actually he's grown so much from when he's first joined. Best hijack ever. Hijacked him from Everton. Great deal.
Yeah, that's mad that it was Everton as well.
There's another name I just saw in the chat. João Neves. He gets another Bellingham.
João Neves
won the Nations League, got a treble.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
João Neves over Scott McTominay though?
Mate, won four trophies.
No, he would get another.
4 trophies at club level, then one
Even
Nations League.
Skelia has a shout. 4 trophies, won it for Napoli. Or he went left.
Yeah, he won 2 league titles last season.
Yeah, true say.
Kvaratskhelia.
And a treble.
Yeah, that's so
2
true.
league titles and a treble. To be fair, that's crazy.
But yeah, I don't know. Jude and Palmer, love them both, but I don't know if I'd put them in there. I even think when I saw Cole Palmer in the top 10 of that Ballon
I was
d'Or,
quite surprised.
I was really surprised, if I'm being honest, because I thought there was others that probably deserved that more than more than Cole Palmer. But hey ho.
One of the comments just said Thomas Souček.
Thomas Souček.
Yeah, man.
He's
Thomas
got a
Souček, player of the year.
I really like his celebration.
What is it?
This little helicopter. Is that Thomas Souček? He does a little. He's great in the air. He does that little helicopter.
Yeah,
turn
but I
around.
remember he was FPL king a few years ago.
Yeah,
but he was like ridiculously.
Yeah, I don't
well
think
earned.
Nuno really fancies him, to be honest.
No, he's terrible now.
Yeah.
Most people at West Ham are terrible.
Yeah, but big shout out to West Ham though. I hope they keep up their performances. They're getting a few draws. They're scoring. No.